Hello everyone, my name is Barbara. I'm a Polish girl who lives in Ireland and likes knit, and today I have a quite different video for you. It's more about challenges, goals, hopes, dreams for 2019 in regards to knitting. Anyway, if you haven't watched videos in regards to my journal, you can check them out. I'm going to put a playlist at the end of the video, one of those two things that normally you can see at the end. So check them out, where I show you what I draw in them, what kind of templates I have. And yeah, and one thing about future me, or future you, if you want to play. In the second video I showed you something that it's called, and people use hashtag mindset reset. It's all about changing your perspective of the way you set yourself for the day, let's say it that way, and the tricks what you can do if you follow your mood instead of the things that you want to do, and so on and so on and so on. So I have a link to the Mel Robbins website, I think, and probably on the website you can go to YouTube video under that video, so check that out. But anyway, before I did that, I heard about Mel in December. Before I did that, I had kinda my own thing of thinking. That makes sense. So in this beauty, the old one, I had something written down in regards environment, career and work, financial, health, family and friends, romance or significant one, personal growth, and fun. So I had 8 things, and I wrote down 1 or 2 things that I want to get better in 2018. And I like Mel slightly better because we have less. We have my work, my body, my money, my love life, my friendship, and my self-worth. So I may stick to that one, but in regards to life overall, because unfortunately I'm not a person who would believe that you can stick to one goal in your year, because we are a complex creatures, and by not fulfilling other areas in your life you will feel empty somehow, and if you don't feel it now, you probably will feel like that in the future. At least I think I would feel that way. That's why I have something like this, and I'm trying to push myself in the areas that I'm not pushing myself enough, and I'm a lack of things in that area. So yeah, I'm just saying that. So anyway, in regards to fun bit, because that's what I put under that section in 2018, was about knitting. And in that section I wrote down that I would love to knit for the first time sweater. And I knitted a few. I think I knitted, sure how many, but on the screen you can see what kind of sweaters I knitted in 2018. There's not that many of them. I would say 5. Was the right answer, you can see on the screen. So yeah, I knitted, and it's the one that I'm actually wearing too. I finished that. Well, I was knitting in 2018. I probably finished it. Wait a sec. Yeah, I classified it as a 2019. My tag will on the other side will have a date. Yeah, that's 2019 sweater. So I kind of classify that one. But I knitted a few, and I did that more than I thought I'm going to do. And I like to challenge and suggest people to challenge themselves in the areas that they don't feel so strong, to go really a minimum. That it's for them, it's, yeah, that sounds very easy, I won't even get tired. That's your goal, because if you do that, you will find that spark that, well, I did this, maybe I'll do something more. And that way you will have already your medal, the one that you dreamed of, a medal, and then you can push yourself a little bit more, and that way you always achieve more than you said you're gonna, but that you're going to. Sorry, I'm mixing here. So yeah, and the story is like that. I know there are people that they put themselves higher goals, but when I was a kid I heard once that, you know, higher expectations, bigger disappointments, because let's face it, if you learn something, if you're doing something for the first time, you will make mistakes, you will make errors, you will learn. It's like with knitting. Your first hat, if it's perfect, you're probably that few percentage of that it's really you're happy with what you're getting. But most of the times with my hats, check my Ravelry. I actually sort them out a little bit so you can check it out. But even on this channel, if you go to YouTube playlist, you can see my beginnings, and would you say that they were like amazing? Well, I wouldn't, but at that time, that was the best I could do, and I was the happiest person ever. Obviously, when I look at the back, I could say, oh, I shouldn't be happy about it, but at that time, I was. And that's the thing I think everyone should be looking at, anyone who is starting in any area, that if you're starting, just to be supportive and help others, if you think that you know better, because you never know, you may not. That's kind of way of thinking I have. I'm not sure, are you the same? Write down below. And then I wrote down that I want to learn brioche, and that was kind of, or at least knit something in brioche, because it kind of was slightly overgoing my comfort zone, because not only it was something that I have never done, but what I've heard about it was that you do one round twice, or row twice. Well, that did not sound right, does it? That sound that whatever project you have to put a double time that you're doing. And that's basically what the brioche is. And it's a question, do you like the effect you're getting for the price that you're paying? And I'm not really a brioche fan. I like knitting it, but unfortunately, I have to agree, it took a long time. And if you're knitted any in the brioche, let me know what you think about it. Do you say that the knitting itself, the process itself, is way worth it, what you're getting at the end? But the same thing, it's just a beginning hat. I would recommend anyone to knit it. It's very, very well written. I checked the video. I just only had over that one thing that I said that normally when I write patterns, I write small, medium, large, but over there you don't have that. You have kids, medium, large. I don't know, check the naming of it. So during the pattern I noticed that I skipped something because I presumed. So completely my fault, but just to be aware that if you're knitting that hat, that's the only thing I would say. Yeah, but I did it. And I have, if you're asking me about brioche patterns, if you check my library, I'm not sure can you see it, but I don't know, maybe you can. I have a shawl by Mina Philip, so knitting X-Pact, and I wanted to knit it, but once I knitted that hat, I'm like, probably I could pull it, but it will take me like double time. Do I really want it that much? I don't know. But anyway, I did it, so I would encourage anyone to do it, to set yourself in a smaller project, and then you'll see a result and you will feel yourself, do you like it or not? This one that I'm wearing on the screen now, this is my pattern and I love it so much. It says double folded brim and we have a lace pattern and I love it so much. Just in case you're wondering what I'm wearing on my head, I forgot to say that. And this is a key sweater. You saw that on the screen too. Okay, the next one was that I wanted to knit with a yarn, the blend that I have never knitted before. A yarn that had a content of stellina in it. Because believe it or not, before 2018, I didn't have a contact with a yarn like that. And I can proudly say that I did knit with stellina, and on the screen you can see, I think with stellina I knitted two things actually. First I knitted socks, so you can see them on the screen. I got the yarn from the Knit Crate box and I was so happy about it. I meant to knit a hat with it first, but how did I end up knitting socks? I know I'm saying that on that video, so check it out if you're interested. I put the links to playlists, so if you're interested, just go playlist, and so if you're interested, just click playlist socks and you will get what I'm talking about. Or if you're searching, you can also put check the playlist and Knit Crate yarn, and I create a playlist with my finished objects, only those that I used Knit Crate yarn or Knit Crate pattern. I really like that. Have I knitted any more after that? Yes, I did, but it is my design that I'm going to publish hopefully in the future. First I need to test knit it, and it is a fingering, and it is a fingering weight, two variations of it actually. It's going to be in the pattern. So excited. But first, test it is. First time to put it on the paper properly, the way I like it. Anyway, so next, the other one in 2018 was to go to a yarn event. And I remember how I felt even writing it down on the paper, because I'm a person that I kind of feel comfortable chit-chatting with you like that, but I could be shy at the beginning if we met in the future. But once we kind of get just talking, I can't stop. And yeah, I need to. Sometimes I need to. Sometimes you need to tell me I need to. But if I'm excited over something, yeah, it's just to try to control myself a little bit more. But anything positive, I think, just go for it. Let me know. I want to say something too. Right, and then what I had written down, it's knit 3 patterns from my library. And I'm not sure that I accomplished that. What I meant by that is that I bought or was gifted, that's the right one? I think that's the right tense. I was gifting patterns from viewers, from podcasters, have I been, and you know, from designers themselves, and I wasn't able to knit some, and I would really want to, so I thought that I will knit before purchasing a pattern, or at least placing it somewhere, to knit those 3 patterns that I was gifted, or even I bought myself. It wasn't really a thing, it was just knit a pattern that you got, let's say in 2017. Not to buy a new one, or even if you do, don't be cheeky, cast on too. So I'm not sure that I do it. Do I go backwards? Do you know what? I would say no, because I bought this sweater, arboreal sweater by Jennifer Stained Glass Pattern. I'm talking about pattern on the sweater. After the Edinburgh Yarn Festival, because eventually I got a courage to kind of get it and decided I'm going to knit it. Although this pattern has been published ages ago, but loads of people were knitting it, and I'm a person that likes to stop myself and say to myself, do you have those emotions that builds up to get a pattern because everyone else is getting? And normally I'm very strict with myself, and the answer is probably yes. So I'm holding a bit, and the stories like that, if that pattern comes back to me and loads of people knitted it, and then the pattern comes back to me and loads of people knitting it, and then in Edinburgh I saw it actually that loads of people were wearing it, and I still wanted to knit it, that was a sign that yes, you can get it. So I did, and I knitted it. And I love it so much. This is on the screen if I haven't showed you before. This is the Aberdeen sweater that I knitted with 100% Irish wool, which I got during our trips with Seb. And oh, and there is a news. Probably I forgot to mention during the podcast, that me, but yeah, not the best wife. But Seb created a YouTube account, and which is called Wycieczki Irlandia, which means tour Ireland, something like this. Irish tours, if I meant something translate. But anyway, it's in Polish, and I'm going to link down below. So what we're planning is going to put more content in regards the views, the mountains, you know, that stuff. And then when I was editing my vlogs, I wasn't sure what county we were in. I didn't plan it, so I didn't really focus so much. When we go somewhere, I just do loads of car knitting. I'm not paying attention to the road or where we at, where we stop at the coffee place. I just look up, or just, oh, what a nice place. Yeah, we can have a coffee. I'm not sure I do the same. So something random fact about me. And so Seb is the one who organized stuff and just takes me there, which I don't mind. Once I have my knitting with me, I'm a happy bunny. So yeah, so he's going to put stuff over there in regards our trips. I probably will put content in regards that I'm knitting, I'm doing something in the car, then we have a glimpse of the mountains here and there, but there will be very short videos. And with him, he will have also short videos, but more kind of pointed towards places, I would say that way. I think that's at least his idea. So check it out, and subscribe. Give him a thumb up, and even though even though the channel is in Polish, if you have any questions, just write in English. That would be so easy to you know, to answer. And yeah, but obviously I will have my vlogs too, the way I like to do it. So yeah, so now in the year 2019, what my goals? Ooh. The first goal that I had is to do something for the first time and be a test knitter. I have never done that. I designed few patterns, 16 or maybe more. Anyway, check it out. On the screen you can see it now. So that many, and some of them are at the beginning, just fix things up, because that was during the time I didn't know how Ravelry worked, and I just putting my project, I didn't follow any pattern, and yeah, I have to clean things up of that a little bit. So that's also a goal, but not like, you know, I'll manage to do it. I don't have to write it down, hopefully, unless you remind me in 2020. So anyway, I wanted to be a test knitter. I'm actually test knitter, and I actually am. I'm going to finish a sweater, so that's something that I put up there and I'm going to accomplish I have a deadline by the 7th of February. I'm knitting a sweater that is designed by Becky, Soprano Knits on YouTube, and yeah, so you probably will hear more, and I probably will do finished object video about it. I'm knitting actually the sweater with the same yarn because I was a cheeky bunny again, and once I got the gauge over here and she was posting that she's looking for test knitters, I noticed that it's exactly the same gauge I knitted this sweater, so let's go for it. And I really like it. I finished the yoke and I finished the waist, like the first part of the waist shaping, so I need to finish just the body and do sleeves. We didn't have much time. I think the plan was anyway you need to do it in a month, so that was a little bit scary, but so far so good. I'm proud of myself. So that's the one, and it's almost accomplished, I would say. Number two is to design a sweater, the one that I can publish. I actually knitted a sweater, so on the screen you can see what kind of sweater I designed, but I did not publish it. And I think it is a fingering weight sweater, and I wanted to try, would I be able to come up with the gauge, with the calculations, to knit something for myself the way I like it, the way I like to feel room in the sweater. And obviously, like, you know, if it's a chunkier yarn, I don't mind that they can be snuggly closer to my body because it keeps me warm. But if it's thinner yarn, like fingering weight, I like a room. I don't know why. I'm not sure. Do you have the same feeling about it? But I like to have more positive ease. I'm not saying that it's a boxy sweater, but yeah, I have a room in it. So I kind of followed it and I designed it, but because it's a fingering weight sweater and it's such a tiny little thing from perspective of yarn, I'm a little bit afraid to put the pattern and ask test knitters as my first sweater pattern to knit fingering weight sweater, because everyone makes mistake and probably I will make loads. And so I've decided that I would, if I go for it, I would love to do it in DK. Because I think that's the best weight to start a sweater as a first sweater, because it's easier to get yarn. Even though you think about bulky sweaters that it's easier to make or faster to make, I would not say it's easier to make. Okay, so I say it's faster to make but not easier. Why? Because if it's bulky you have to get a really good gauge. I learned that on my Just Knit Hat, a free pattern and step-by-step tutorial you can find on this channel if you're listening for the first time. So try it. If you're a knitter, you can have a go, have a fun, something easy. If you're a beginner, you may find it like, oh, knitting's not that bad, I can do it. And believe me, if I can do it, you can do it. So yeah, the story is like that. In regards to bulky, that would be my kind of a scary part, because, you know, half of the stitch, one stitch, it's a big difference in the size. So DK, I think it's the safest thing. So let's write it down. Right, is there any blend that I haven't knitted or used and would love to try? Okay, I haven't knitted with mohair. Everyone is talking about mohair. I haven't knitted with it. I actually also haven't knitted with yak, well, I've started, but I haven't finished it. I got a yarn during an Brioche festival. I got a skein for Seb. Seb is my husband, and I wanted to knit him a hat. And then I went to another event because I took part more in than one event during 2018. So I actually doubled the thing. I went to woolen. No, I even went more because I went to Bubbles traveling, Bubbles retreat organised in Ireland. So actually, and woolen is in Ireland. So I actually took part in 3 and I just hoped for 1. Not that bad. Well, I pushed that, you know. Social gatherings are kind of intimidates me. Let me know, what do you think about that? How do you feel during a bigger events? Probably everyone feels that way, the way I feel. So, right. So the blend. I would say mohair or that yak. I got actually another 3 skeins during woolen, and I wanted to knit myself some kind of a t-shirt, you know, fingering, t-shirt, sweater, I don't know, call it. So that's the plan. And so yeah, mohair or yak. And a next one. I'm going to stick with the 3 patterns that I want to knit. I got few patterns from my friends, from podcasters, and I have actually 3 in mind that I could knit. Yeah, it's just lately I'm in the like a sweater zone. I'm not sure why. It's just calling my name. But still, I got a beautiful pattern from Lynn, for instance, and literally I know about that pattern. I got like 2 years ago. I got a beautiful shawl, and the name of it kind of rings a bell, something about love or hearts, or yeah, put it on the screen, the one I'm talking about. You see this, and I think it's DK. Am I right? So I would love to knit that, and I think I even have yarn for that, and that'll be a beautiful sweat, a beautiful shawl, either for keep for myself or to gift to someone. I'm bumbling quite a lot now. And events still is a challenge for me. I missed tickets for Edinburgh Yarn Festival, but we're planning to go anyway, and I'm going to stay in the queue. So that's kind of a challenge because I haven't done it before. Well, I stayed in the queue, but I had a ticket and I could walk in. And according to the story with a queue, it's a little bit more of waiting idea of getting into an event, but I'm trying to think it positive way. I've never done it. It's something, it's new experience. There'll be other people waiting in the queue. We can have a brilliant chit chat. I'm planning to take a chair because even if you're doing your event, there's sometimes no places to sit, so having a chair, like a tiny little thing, would work. We shall see how that goes actually. Yeah, or even like a mat or something that I can sit, and hopefully it won't be cold. Finger crossed for that, because it was quite cold last year. So yeah, I think that's all. Obviously during the time there'll be other things, but I think that's the fun thing. So I would say and encourage you to try to do something similar. So let me know. I told you a few things about my work, my body, my money, my love life, my friends, and my self-worth. One thing in that area that you would want to improve or try something new, or even stop things that you have been doing and you don't think it's the best thing for you to do. I'm just saying how I did this. So yeah, and more about it, you can listen to Mel Robbins. She'll tell you more, and I will encourage you to do that. And I hope to see you next one. Probably more related knitting. It was knitting related, I would say. And yeah, I want to hear what you think about it and what is your opinion. Do you do stuff like this? Do you think it's worth writing stuff like that? And setting some kind of, even the little tiniest things, just to feel good about yourself, because that's basically, we're just boosting our own self-esteems, don't we? At least I do. Let me know, what do you do? I hope you enjoyed this one. See you next one. Don't forget to use hashtag knitting I love, show me what you're knitting, and check the old links down below. Maybe you find something that you like. Bye!